Welcome back to Unstable Cookies and Milk. My phone died.
Is it recording? It is recording.
My
good.
phone, which is primarily used to record the podcast, is dead because LG is a terrible phone company.
Smoke it wants the milk.
They have a chip that just puts your phone in an infinite boot up loop. And Ben is sick. Are you good? Don't check that phone. We're using Ben's phone is also untrustworthy because it restarts if it gets too hot. So
that is probably why it restarts.
a recording software would probably get it too hot to do anything. Where's the phone? Where's the cap? Where's the milk cap?
Right there. It's right there.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, the issue is more so that I don't have data on my phone also.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I'm like pushing the limits of my
Well,
memory card.
that sucks. That makes sense, though. So, we're using Ben's boyfriend's old phone.
Right, which
That
also
has a
an
problem.
issue because phones are garbage. This leads into I'm your host, Ben.
I'm your host, William. This is Cookies and Milk, a video games podcast.
We're talking. We're having. What are they?
Let me get them.
Keebler
Keebler?
Chips Deluxe Rainbow cookies.
Yeah.
They're like top tier cookies. Like cookies don't get better than this.
Ben really likes them. He was really excited when I talked about this. As a surprise.
They're just like cookies with M&Ms in them, but for some reason they're like the best cookie that exists.
Okay.
All right.
I mean...
Podcast called Cookies and Milk.
Yeah, that's true.
You want me to not talk about cookies and
We
milk?
don't review... I mean, we've been using reused cookies, but anyway.
Anyways.
You had two topics. You seemed pretty confident in them.
Yeah, there are two topics I've got. One of them is mobile games, and the other one is game developers.
Yeah?
So let me paint you a picture of exactly where these conversations can start.
Yeah.
Last week on the podcast, I said that Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key didn't count as one of my games of the year.
Yeah.
That's what I would talk about with that one. The other one is Scalebound was canceled recently.
Ooh. Why was that?
Is that the topic you're picking?
Do you...
okay,
do you know why?
The going thing is that it took Platinum... It was taking them way too long. Like, they were on 4 years.
It was too big of a project
Of development
for a company like Platinum.
I don't think it was, though. I think Microsoft... Or you might be right that it was too big of a thing, but Microsoft is notoriously, like, bad to work with.
Yeah.
Because it's like, Platinum just took too long with their game. Platinum has had no problems any other time.
That's true.
Releasing games.
But...
All of a sudden...
Hold on. Scalebound is a much different game than Platinum's other games.
But,
no. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm being a bit mean.
Really mean.
But
really...
think about Scalebound for a second. Compare that to a game like Bayonetta. Bayonetta has more comparability to any of the shitty games they've made. I'm talking... Okay, they make the same game.
Yeah, you're right. It's like a league ahead because it's got the massively multiplayer or whatever the fuck.
And they're trying a different game style.
And it's like Monster Hunter almost.
Really? Shit.
Yeah, that's what it was going to be.
I'm getting into Monster Hunter again. So.
But it's like, you know the dog's out?
Until they start barking.
Got it. That should have been the extra year. That should have been where Microsoft was really helping them when they were all learning. It has taken them like 3 years at the longest. Every other game has taken like between 1 and 2 years.
It's true.
Within the extra 2 years, they couldn't figure out how to make an online
I'm
game.
gonna go let the dogs out because Evie's looking longingly at the door.
Yeah, of course. I don't mean to say that it's entirely possible that Platinum fucked around and that like they literally couldn't make this game. But what it sounds more like is that Microsoft fucked it up. Or like consistently fucked with it until the point where it wasn't even worth it to work on anymore. And this is really bad for Microsoft. Like, this is a bad thing to have happen. Because can you name 4 other exclusives that are coming out on the Xbox One? Or 5 more exclusives that are coming out on the Xbox One this year?
Don't pay much attention to Xbox. But
Halo
again-
Wars 2,
Ugh.
Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3 looks like it's in trouble.
Yeah, Crackdown 3 also looks like it's in trouble. And that's it. That's
All
like,
I know, the only reason I know that is because I saw it in a headline. I didn't click on the video.
And it's like, but that's all
What
they've
does
got.
what does Sony have? What does PlayStation have?
Nier Automata for one platinum game. Persona 5 for another game that exists. Horizon Zero Dawn for
Yeah.
another game that
It's
exists.
I mean, I'm not trying to because I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah, but because I've been looking at
Also, Last Guardian just came out.
yeah, it got exclusives. They don't have any problem with exclusives.
You gotta wonder though about game developers. Do you think
Kingdom
Japan-
Hearts is coming out.
2.8? Yeah.
2.8 and 3 is on the way.
Which is strange. That's for Xbox One.
Oh, right.
Don't you think it's strange?
Yeah, I mean that's
Don't you think that's super strange? How none of the games that would help Xbox players get into the series are releasing for Xbox One?
Yeah. It's literally like Microsoft was like, "Hey, how much do we have to pay you to put this on our console also?" And they were like, dollars. Microsoft was like, "We've got dollars."
That's definitely true for Microsoft's sake.
But they couldn't afford to lose a thing like Scalebound.
Really, it was. People are excited.
It was just, even if people weren't excited for it, you're a company with like 2 exclusives, and neither of them are like huge big games coming out. And then it was like, we've also got a platinum game coming out. When you have 3 exclusives, you can't afford to lose a single one of them.
Yeah.
And it's, so what Microsoft should have done, I don't know what the correct thing to do is when you've canceled a big game that people are excited for.
Yeah.
But I think the first part of it is apologize.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to be like, hey, here's everything that happened, and we're gonna try hard to fix it and everything, and make things better, and make you want to have the Xbox One.
Right.
You shouldn't be like, hey, it's fine. We got Halo Wars 2 and Crackdown 3 coming out. Xbox never fails you, and it's like, huh.
Halo Wars wasn't that good.
Yeah.
I mean, I really wanted an RTS game because I thought all of them were the same because I played Civilization.
Rob wants to go outside.
No, he doesn't. He's at the heater. You think he does because he's laying in front of the door, but
Yeah.
the heater is right next to the door. It's weird. You notice how Mass Effect 1, you can check the phone. Careful, is it recording?
It's recording.
Okay, good. Mass Effect 1 was an exclusive for the Xbox 360. They jumped ship immediately. Mass Effect 2 was immediately an exclusive for PlayStation. Yeah, no, not an exclusive. I mean, it was
Cross-platform.
cross-platform. But it's the stupidest thing. Like, exclusivity like that is the stupidest thing because it took them, like, a year after Mass Effect 3 released to get Mass Effect 1 on the PS3.
Yeah.
Why? Don't, like, people want it. There should be no reason to hold them back.
Not as if, fortunately for Mass Effect 2, you could technically play it and it explains everything at the beginning.
Do the comic thing.
But it's not as if it's a standalone game. Like,
True.
it's a game that's better if you've played Mass Effect 1.
Right.
Or worse if you've played Mass Effect 1 if you're that kind of person.
What?
We all came in Morrowind, after all.
Okay, that is true. But a lot of people just didn't like Mass Effect 1.
Yeah. But, it seems wrong to be like, hey, can you make one game cross-platform instead of all of them?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm speaking of that, Kingdom Hearts is like the worst series about that in the entire world.
It's so weird. It requires so much out of the player. And yet...
Or it technically doesn't. If you just have a PS3 and a PS4, you can get everything.
Yeah.
Which is...
But now it's just a PS4.
Why?
2.8, 1.5. I mean...
Oh yeah, you're right. If you
Yeah.
just have a PS4, you can play the entirety of
Which is
Kingdom Hearts.
good. I mean...
Yeah, it's great.
job.
That's how any game series that does a bunch of random bullshit like that should be. Instead of having to buy a Game Boy Advance, a Nintendo DS, a PSP, a PS2,
Phone.
sneeze, a phone.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean,
I'm excited for that fucking movie, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I hope. It's the first time they've ever. What?
Kingsley wasn't.
Well, hold on. You didn't care about that.
That's fair.
You're starting in a medium where it has nothing. It has no backstory.
Yeah.
That thing is creating the backstory.
Yeah.
That plan. Cookbook.
Give him some cheese. Hold on.
Yeah.
Pull your phone right out of the freezer and give it to him.
Yeah, that's what's going on right now. Ben had recently looked up an article on the LG G4, the phone I have.
Move the plastic away from the phone.
Hold on. The fans need this. You don't even know if you don't even know if this phone's audio is.
We'll pick it up.
We'll pick it up.
Trust me, it'll pick it up.
You think it will?
I've recorded on this before.
Oh yeah, you're right. For the magic thing.
Yeah.
So. There we go. All right, get out of here. Get out of here. Go.
But what were we saying? Oh yeah, no. I'm already engrossed into the story of Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key. And all they have to do is be like, hey, here's the movie where we explain all this stuff finally.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, cool. Now I can play Kingdom...
It won't explain all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it has to explain some of it. But that's what Kingslave, that's what the entirety of Final Fantasy 15 did incorrectly.
Yeah.
Is that it was like, hey man, Final Fantasy 15, you hyped? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty excited for Final Fantasy 15. And it was like, are you ready for the movie, the anime, and the game? And I was like, no, not particularly. And it was like, get fucked.
Yeah.
Buy the movie.
That's the problem with Final Fantasy games. If you don't have a good enough startup, it's lost.
Because they're their own individual things, whereas Kingdom Hearts is so much at this point.
Yeah.
It's so much.
And I think they like working on sequels, just specific games, because at that point in time, people that do know the story, what are you doing?
There's like a hair in my milk.
Oh.
No, it's on my...
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm gonna chug my milk. Actually, I can't. I'm talking about something. If you don't have a good enough setup, the player will lose you. And that's why a lot of people, I think, get lost. Like, talk about Final Fantasy and having complex plots, because it's a big thing to do.
Yeah.
If it's not a long-running series.
It's easier for Kingdom Hearts to be like, hey, here's all this bullshit. Because it's been all this bullshit over 6 or 7 games.
And also, they are working with Disney plots as well.
Yeah.
Working with a bunch of borrowed Disney plots.
But when you say, here's Kingdom Hearts' outrageous plot, or here's Metal Gear Solid's outrageous plot, you're like, alright, but how many games is that? And
It's a
like,
network of games.
It's like, this whole thing has been between like 10 games.
But even the Lightning Saga in Final Fantasy, that has a plot.
No, but like Final Fantasy VII's plot or whatever,
Yeah.
the within a plot of Final Fantasy games gets fucking absurd, and it's like, God, how this is one game?
Yeah, it can
You
get
go
pretty...
back in time and fight the incarnation of chaos that you summoned as the first.
Even the first game!
Yeah, and it's like, oh
But-
man.
Let's talk about Final Fantasy X for a second, because do you think that has a complex plot? Or something that can be like, oh man, what is this? Like, oh, it's
Kind of.
crazy.
If you explained it to me, if you just like base level, try to explain to me the plot of Final Fantasy X.
Shit, now that you said that...
Yeah.
No. I'll try.
All right, go ahead.
So you got this guy, Titus, right?
Lost me. What's his name?
Titus.
Thank you.
Fucking Christ.
Titus.
Titus. No, it's Titus.
Sure.
I'll give it that at least. So Titus is a
You can say
sports.
Titus. I don't care.
Titus is a sportsman. He
Yeah.
plays the sports.
Got it.
It's a water
A
sport.
what?
I know. Crazy, right?
He plays a water sport.
He plays a water sport. You don't need to learn about the water sport. But in the middle of the water sport
What if I
game,
want to get Waka's legacy weapon?
what?
His Ultima weapon.
What are you talking about?
What if I need to get Waka's
Is that a
Super
thing?
Ball? Yeah,
Do you have to beat all the Blitzball tournaments
I
to
think
get
you
that?
have to get like the high-ranking Blitzball.
Ask Randy about that. He platted it.
Sure, I think that's how I know that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So you got the Titus. He is the sportsman.
Sportsman.
In the middle of one of the sports tournaments, a beast attacks called Sin. and Titus's defender, Orin, who is a mysterious man, saves him.
Got
And they get sucked into the beast. Not Orin. He just sort of watches the beast, but it does happen.
He does get sucked into the beast.
I think he does. I can't remember. I think Orin just like picks him up and then he lets Titus go into the beast.
Got it.
But so then Titus wakes up on a beach. No, he doesn't.
He wakes up in the water.
He wakes up in the water. No, yeah, in the boat. And he meets a mysterious girl named Riku. And then they go diving. And then the boat gets attacked by Sin, the beast. And then Titus wakes up again on another beach. On a beach. And he meets a man named Waka. And Waka is like, dude, that city you came from, that thing you're talking about, was destroyed 1,000 years ago. And Titus is like, what? And then they go on. And then they meet a girl named Yuna, who is a... What is this podcast?
Summoner?
What is it? I'm just explaining Final Fantasy X. She is a summoner.
I'm trying to see the shortest way you can do it, and so far it's not been short at all.
Okay. They meet a summoner named Yuna. Waka is the guardian of Yuna, along with a woman named Lulu and a beast named Kumari. And they have to go to select temples to be able to summon beasts called Aeons to take down Sin. Only Sin is the... They find out that Sin is the guardian of every other summoner before. So if Yuna were to defeat Sin with the final Aeon she gets in the path, someone would become one of her... The final Aeon she used would be one of the guardians she made into the final Aeon. That would become Sin. Right.
So why do it?
Exactly. They didn't know about that.
Oh, they don't know until the last thing.
They don't know until the last thing. Orin knows.
Why is fucking Orin?
Orin
Stop him.
Was the guardian to Yuna's father, who was the summoner before Yuna, along with Titus's father, Jecht.
Who is
Sin. Jecht is Sin. And Evie is a hyperactive dog.
Evie is Sin.
But so, Titus is actually a dream. He is a dream, man. We had
an okay... What the dog is outside?
Outside.
We had an okay game going up until this point where Titus was a dream.
He is an illusion created by the Aeons that Yuna summons. They are the Faith. And in order to defeat Sin, they have to destroy the Aeons.
So I'm going to go ahead and retell this for you. And you tell me where it stops making sense.
I mean, it won't stop making sense for me.
A sportsman. City is destroyed. And he is absorbed into the monster that destroys his city.
Who is his dad?
1,000 years later.
Not 1,000 years later.
Several thousand years later?
No. There's no difference of time. See, it's an illusion. The Xanarkand Titus comes from is an illusion.
Sportsman lives in an illusion city.
He is an illusion too.
Illusion sportsman.
You lost me.
Yeah, I lost me too. Illusion sportsman. Go ahead. Illusion sportsman lives in Illusion City and is brought by his father. This city did exist 1,000 years ago, though. Yeah?
Correct, but Titus did not live there.
Titus didn't live there.
Someone who looked like him,
of course,
did live there. And that's what Titus is based off of.
Weird.
And that's the plot of Final Fantasy X too. Now let me talk about that for a second.
Illusion sportsman.
The gameplay of Final Fantasy X-2 sucks, dude!
Lives in Illusion City. Created by the guardians of a summoner.
Created by the dead thoughts of the people that become the
dead
summoning.
Thoughts of the people who become the summoning. And joins forces, the Illusion Man joins forces with the summoner who's tasked with defeating the giant beast.
They also bone.
Who is Illusion Man's father.
Yes.
That's the end of the game. They realize that the beast is Illusion Man's father.
They don't realize that. They know that a little while later. They know that halfway through the story.
halfway through the game, they realize that Illusion Man's father is the Beast.
Yes.
Uh,
Technology is outlawed.
Technology is outlawed because
They think that's what called
they
sin.
think that's what called sin. And that's the plot of Final Fantasy X.
No, not entirely.
Got it. Sorry, we don't need to say anymore.
They
because-
have to go into sin.
Right, we're already lost. The plot is already way too complicated for one game to deal with.
But the thing is, we don't. The thing is, I'm gonna be contradictive. Is the plot of any Final Fantasy game, I guess, starts to unfurl naturally,
Like
because it does for Final Fantasy X.
It doesn't hit you all at once, but it hits you over time, and you have to sort of sit down. Can I do the same for Final Fantasy 15?
Yeah.
And you can okay. I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible.
Can I spoil Final Fantasy 15?
Sure, I'm gonna spoil.
You actually have to explain that final scene to me. I
Sure.
asked you about that.
Oh yeah, all right. So I'm gonna say it now. Spoilers for Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah. Also, spoilers for Final Fantasy X.
Sure, got it. That game came out in 2005.
2001.
2001. That game is.
5.
I don't know, dude. How
15.
time works.
16 years old by now.
Older than you.
16? No. No.
Spoilers for Final Fantasy 15 ahead. Prince Noctis is on his way to marry Lady Lunafreya. For a political marriage between the evil government and the nice government.
We just knocked us from evil.
Noctis is from the nice government. Lady
Mhm.
Lunafreya is part of a country that was taken over by the evil government, along with basically the entire rest of the country.
You mean the rest of the world?
The rest of the world. And evil government is fucked. Like, they make a bunch of robots and they use a bunch of demons and they're just like the worst people.
Right, of course.
So they're gonna go get married as a sort of political agreement between these two places.
Mm-hmm.
This is basically a trap.
Right.
Because it's the evil government wants to get close to everybody, and they're trying to form alliances with the good government, but they really want to get their magic the whole time.
Magic. That wasn't even on the table.
They got magic.
They have technology, though.
Yeah, their technology is like super good and has taken over the rest of the world, but they need this magic.
Why?
Make some gods, probably.
They're already rulers of the world.
They're not rulers of this place.
They take it over, don't they?
They're working on it.
Don't they do it in the beginning of Final Fantasy 15?
They do it in Kingslave, buddy.
Great.
They're making all sorts of treaties and making all sorts of agreements, and Prince Noctis leaves the royal city and goes on his way to get married.
Yeah.
While this is happening, the ruler of the evil land goes to meet the king of the good land, and they sit down and they write out a contract, and they're like, sure, it's good that we're having a good time, and then evil man pulls out a gun, and then good guy pulls out all the magic in the world. And, like, betrayal happens because of
of course.
horrible things, and the king dies.
Right.
And the royal city is lost.
Yeah.
To demons. Noctis is sad about this for all of, like, 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah. They just have fun boy times.
They're
in the
having a
car.
fun camping. Noctis' dad is dead.
Oh.
And, so, you gotta spend time camping, and then you gotta do all this sort of runaround stuff, and then you learn that the government was bad the whole time, because who knew the bad government was bad the whole time? Spoiler alert, everybody did.
Yeah, of course.
And you learn that Noctis has to pick up his royal arms, which are the weapons left behind by his forefathers when they're spirit tombs, in order to get the strength to take on the bad government. This is the plot. He's in a chair at a laptop.
Gotta get a pair of glasses on her.
She's having a great time.
Who cares about Final Fantasy 15?
He's like, I'm here too, don't forget.
They'll be on the podcast.
Alright,
Go ahead.
we're...
I'm gonna put this barbecue sauce away.
Got it. So, I feel like I'm getting distracted. Final Fantasy 15, real quick.
Yeah, there's so much.
Bad government taking over the world.
Right.
Good government is where Noctis is from. Noctis is going to go marry his childhood friend who is currently basically controlled by the evil government as a sort of political thing.
Yeah.
The bad government and the good government's kings meet up, and the good king
Betrayal
dies.
happens. You already said this.
Betrayal happens, good king dies. I'm trying to make it as fast as possible.
You're not, because you're repeating yourself.
I'm starting new. This is a new starting.
No, dude, you can't do that.
Noctis discovers he has to go get the powers of his forefathers in order to fight the evil people and take back the lands from the bad government. But the bad government is counting on this.
Mm-hmm.
Because Noctis is going to go meet all the gods, and the bad government is going to kill all the gods.
Ooh.
And they try to do that, and it doesn't work. Like, it consistently doesn't work for them.
The government?
Yeah, the bad government. In the meantime, we meet this fucking douchebag dude. Fucking douchebag dude is apparently the advisor. He was in Kingslave to the bad government, and then he keeps showing up to, like, help you guys out, almost. And he's like, hey, sure, it's wacky to be me. And then eventually...
He's the frumpy dude, yeah?
Yeah, he's like a frumpy dude. And then eventually, the game stops being an open world and starts being more linear as shit starts to hit the fan and everything goes bad. And you finally meet up Lady Lunafreya, but you meet another god, and then Lady Lunafreya dies because the bad government tries to kill the god. Lady Lunafreya dies. And then you gotta find more gods in more royal arms and get to the bad place and take them out. That's the goal. Darkness is happening, demons are here.
Yeah.
And you're driving. And the fucking frumpy dude is here, and he's like, I'm still your friend, guys. I'm, like, helping you out behind the scenes. And, wait a minute, frumpy dude kills Lady Lunafreya.
Wait, she already died, though.
No, she was dead. She was alive, and as she was, like, summoning the god, he kills her.
Okay.
And then you're like, wait a minute, frumpy dude was an asshole the whole time. And then he tricks you into thinking that one of your friends was him, and then you attack him in the train, and then you fight people on the train. And then he tricks you again, and you push your friend off the train.
Who? Which one?
Prompto, the blind friend.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Other friend
Prompto.
is blind.
What?
He was blinded when Lady Lunafreya dies. A lot of conflict. I love it.
But he stayed blind, though?
He's blind the whole time. He's blinded.
The glasses man?
Glasses man is blinded.
Oh, that sucks. Is
Yeah.
he still fighting?
Yeah. There's a whole arc about it. But it's not enough to get into in the plot. Noctis is all the time learning about what it really takes to be a king and make the correct sacrifices for his people and move on and motivations and whatever.
Of course.
You lose your friends. You start to lose them, like, one by one.
They die?
No, you lose them. And you're driving a car, and you're trapped in the city, and the city's fucked. Evil City is fucked, dude. It's all demons. It's all nighttime. It's all the time.
Do you lose Prompto when you push him off the train?
Yes.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. But it's all nighttime, all the time, and you get split up from your last two friends, and your car explodes.
Ugh.
It's sad, because your car was your dad.
What? Your dad gave you your car?
Dad gave you the car, and you have a scene, and it's you really saying goodbye to your dad, finally.
Oh.
You go, and everything's fucked. It's
Hold
all
on,
demons.
you lost me after the gods thing.
That's fine. I had to finish at this point. You get to
You
the
didn't
building.
actually lose me after the gods thing. I just forgot I had to say it when it got confusing.
You get to the building where the big military is, but nobody's there except a bunch, like 6 robots.
Big military.
Like 6 robots are there. I finally connected to the Wi-Fi. Like 6 robots are around. And you have to kill all the robots with the ring because your friends are gone and you don't have any weapons. So it's
spent all that time collecting god arms, though.
you can't use them.
What?
Because they turn off your weapons. There's a thing that turns off everybody's weapons. Frumpy dude is taunting you the whole time because he's an asshole.
Right.
He's like a monster, and you're trying to figure out what the fuck this dude is because he's like the only human here still, and he's not a robot or a demon because everybody is becoming demons.
Everyone just
like,
turns into to a demon.
Like yeah, like
so he's Kefka.
Sure.
I mean, maybe I don't know. I mean, Kefka wants to become a god. And he's a clown.
Kefka is like higher ranking than
Really?
Frumpy dude is.
Do you know that?
Kefka
was a clown.
Kefka becomes like a god and questions human mortality at the end of the game. This dude like taunts you on repeatable quotes forever.
I wear a top hat. And
he had a huge arm thing in Kingslave, didn't have it in the game.
What?
Which is like a smart choice because it looked bad.
You look stupid, Frumpy dude. No.
And he's just yelling at you the whole time, and then he gives you your friends back.
What?
He gives them to you. He's like, oh, your friends are here again. And he's like, now I can take them away from you again. And then he does that immediately. You realize Prompto was a robot the whole time.
What?
This is not important. We're going too fast.
Prompto's a robot?
This isn't even like me speeding things up now. You find Prompto again. And it's like, there's no way in, it's locked. And Prompto like puts his hand up to the door and it beeps.
What?
And it's like, I guess I was an MT the whole time, you guys. That's pretty fucked, huh? And it's like, yeah.
Prompto, shut up!
And people are like, dude, you're still our friend and everything. And I'm like, wait, I have a lot of questions. You can't just, you're our friend out of this one.
Hold on, wait. It's not like a problem that he's a robot.
No, it's not.
So
He's just a normal human.
What?
None of the other MTs are at all like this. None of the other robots are at all like
Just
this.
another MT, huh? You know, you're a scientific marvel, Prompto.
You're like amazing.
And you're
what are you?
And you're the goofy one.
How did we not know you were this?
What's Prompto? I'm blind.
You can hear us.
What?
But
meanwhile, the other guy that like takes his coat off and then has a tank top, Gladio, he's fine.
He's an asshole. Like
what?
He's great.
You just said he's
he
an
has
asshole.
the dumbest character arc. Ignis has this thing where he has to learn that he's still got.
He has to learn he's blind.
He's
I can't see.
he has to overcome that and learn that he's still
I feel-
amazing despite it all.
I feel bad.
You are a bad person. Prompto has his
Right
arc
in the
where he's like
30-minute mark.
Noctis pushes his he has to watch Noctis like just randomly push him off a train like an asshole and chase him around and try and kill him because he thinks he's the bad frumpy dude.
Right.
And Gladio like just disappears and he's like, I gotta go deal with something, and then he comes back in a disguise and you're in a disguise and it's like, who could he be? And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I want to be blind. I want to be a robot. Can I be a blind robot, Noctis?
He does that first and you have to treat that as if it means anything.
Why
even
did he
though
do
it's-
it?
I don't know. Maybe the DLC will explain.
Oh, wait, the DLC?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
There's DLC where you play as Gladio, and it's probably going to explain where he was the whole time.
Oh, okay.
And then there's DLC where you play as Ignis, which I don't know when that happens. And then there's DLC where you play as Prompto, and I feel like that's going to be sad.
Yeah.
We're not even at the part where the story gets absurd yet. You meet the Emperor, and he's a demon.
Okay.
Frumpy dude is like, hey Noctis, and he splits you off from all your friends again, and he's like, fuck you dude, there's the gem in there, you gotta go get all the power. Anyways, I'm like an ancient immortal being,
What?
cursed by the gods to live forever because I wasn't good enough for the role or whatever. And it's like, huh? And he's like, if you get all the magic and you have all the gods and I kill you, then it'll be worth it. Then everything will have been worth it. Because then I can be free or whatever he wants out of this.
Okay, Frumpy dude.
You get into the crystal. And it's like to get all the power.
Yeah.
You come out 10 years later.
Oh, is that why you're old Noctis?
That's why you're old Noctis.
Huh.
And you come out of the stone and you're like, fuck. And then you walk out of the one hotel you stayed in 1 billion times. And then it's like, the world is covered in darkness. There's no more daytime. It's all demons all the time.
Okay.
And you meet up with your friends who are 10 years older but have not gotten any stronger or any new skills or any new items.
So Prompto is still a robot?
Probably.
Is it-
He's got a beard.
What? That's some binary domain shit.
He grows like a human, and he is a human, but he's empty the whole time. MTs are demons, also, which is dumb because even the best MT is just a shitty demon.
Is Prompto a childhood friend?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. It doesn't explain
There's
it.
no need for that.
But so you grab your posse
Sora
together.
looks like I'm just a Heartless, huh? Riku, I've been a Heartless for 1.5 games.
You grab your posse and you head over to the royal city where you were born, and you gotta go fight the main dude. And it's like you and your friends are tearing it up, just like old times. You gotta fight a god again, but you fight the god, and then you meet the dude, and he takes all your friends away again.
Ooh.
And you gotta look through all your pictures real quick before that, and pick one to take with you because it's super sad. Like I legit almost teared up during that scene. And you take the picture out, and then you put it away, and then you immediately get separated from all your friends. So what the fuck was the point of them being here?
Right, of course.
For
For good old times.
good old times. And then you fight him, and it's like, and I shit you not, this is how he's like, now I'm a god, like I've got all these powers, and you've got all your powers, so we can finally fight.
Right.
And I'm like, I've also got like 99 elixirs, which is gonna be really good for this. And then you fight him, and it's terrible, but you get him down. And he's like, whatever, I'm still immortal, I'm still like all this shit. And then you meet him in like the crystal,
What?
and it's just you and him in the crystal, and he's like, fuck you, I'm gonna keep fighting you forever. But then Lady Lunafreya is there, and all your friends are there, and you hit him with your heart powers and erode his existence.
What?
And then you're dead.
Hmm.
And then Lady Lunafreya is there, and you're dead. You call on all the true powers of the ring,
Right, then
and
that
that
kills
it
you.
costs your life. and so you're dead after that, and you have a sad scene with your friends, and then the final scene in the game is you all pushing the car again, and it's like,
Wait, pushing the car again.
yeah, you start the game pushing the car in the desert to get to the gas station, and then it starts that at the end, which is like, I guess,
So pushing the desert, the same thing.
the same thing.
So just like it
Yeah.
repeats.
Yeah, it just repeats. Because I guess that's how you end a game.
You know, that's fuck, dude. That's my ending. That's the ending I have for my series I'm writing. It's
Or-
basically just
Heart power.
not and then the timeline resets. And the main character who has just killed the main antagonist just has to sit there and watch it all happen again.
I don't think the timeline resets.
Just go back in time.
I don't think you go back in time. I just think it was a scene they slapped onto the end of the game because they couldn't figure out how else to do it.
Yeah, okay. Now, this podcast is taking some twists and turns. I tried to make a simple explanation of Final Fantasy X. You just started explaining Final Fantasy 15.
I tried to make it as simple as possible.
You didn't.
I tried.
Okay, dude, you explained the entire plot. I skipped a lot of blank points.
I can't skip any of. All right,
I could have explained the laughing scene.
in 30 seconds. All right.
I'll explain the laughing scene in 30 seconds.
No. All right. Here, in 10 words or
This
less.
is the longest
I know.
podcast.
10 words or less. Explain Final Fantasy VII. 10.
7.
10.
Kill your dad. Love the girl. No, the summoner.
Sure.
You're an illusion sportsman.
Sportsman is one word.
Yes.
Got
Now
it.
do it for Final Fantasy 15.
All right. Final Fantasy 15. The night is bad.
Yeah.
Friendship is good. Fuck off, Arden. There it is.
There you go.
10
Okay.
words.
37 minutes.
37 minutes. Too much. All right, that's the podcast. I've been your host, Ben.
And I've been your host, William. Tune in next time for